Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Angie Hunt, and we are LDRS Creative. So excited to be here with you guys at Scrapbook Central. Thank you so much to Natalie for having us here today. Yay! It's been a little while since the last time we were here. We have a whole new collection that I cannot wait to show you. A whole bunch of stuff going on. A couple of little announcements that I want to make before we get started and while people start coming in. If you have any questions about anything, if you have any product questions, you're going to look for Linnea Hollandaner. She is with LDRS Creative. She'll be out there to answer any product-specific questions. I can see you here, and I can see questions and stuff, so I will try and look at that, but I do have a lot to show you today. So like I said, product-specific questions, you're going to look for Linnea. She's going to answer those. Natalie's going to be on as well, and she is going to be, popping in with anything that she needs to send to you. I do want you to know if there's anything at all that you want to order from this collection. If you go to the Scrapbook Central website, everything is going to be up on the website. Some items are going to be in stock and some items are going to be up for pre-order. If there's something that you want that is up for pre-order, then Natalie's going to be placing an order over the weekend, and we're going to get the products to her really, really fast. So you're still going to get your order pretty quickly. And I don't want you to worry about quantities. There's plenty of inventory, so you don't have to rush. I also want to let you know that we do have a demo that I'm going to be showing you of some of the pirouettes, some of the new stamps and dies that we have that go with the pirouette templates. I'm going to go over those pirouette templates too. If you have them, this will be a little refresher course for you. And if you don't have them, then it's going to be a whole new world for you because you get to do lots of really, really cool and fun circular patterns and background patterns and stuff like that as well. I do want to mention too, I think, did I mention that already? But just keep in mind that all of the products are going to be discounted on the site. You'll get a 10% discount on everything that's new in this collection. And I think there's 48 products in this whole collection. So I've got a lot to show you. Let me give everybody a little welcome here. I see so many names coming in already. We've got Linda Horton and Julie is here, Deidre, Suzanne, Danielle, Leander, who else? Nat, oh, I see Nat. Oh, it's a different Natalie. Sylvia, I do see Linnea out there, and Carmen, so many people. Thank you so much for joining. It is so exciting. I wish I could see you guys too. But anyway, just knowing you're there and seeing your comments out there, if you have any questions that are product specific, I will be, taking a look out there periodically and seeing if there's something that I can answer. But Linnea is going to get those answered for you. So, all right, I think we've had plenty of time for people to start coming in. So we're going to get started because I do have a lot to show you. Lots of card samples too that our design team and even myself that we've made, things to really show off what you can do and give you some inspiration, how you can use these products and mix and match and kind of cross all through the collection. I'm going to point out a few things in the collection too, some of the illustrations that you're going to see all throughout the collection. One of the things we like to do with our collections is kind of have images and illustration that kind of goes kind of all through it, so it gives us a really nice well-rounded and cohesive collection. It makes it easy for you to really mix and match and just kind of expand everything that you can do with them. So with that being said, we're going to get started with the very, very first set. So Mr. Hunt is my husband, Alan. He's going to be in charge of our camera, so he's going to switch us over to camera number 2. Ready? All righty. Here we go. Oh, camera number 3. I'm sorry. Of course, they're not numbered for you. You guys wouldn't know the difference. All righty. So first up, for those of you that are familiar with our products, you have probably seen our pocket pails. Pocket pails are teeny tiny little characters, little stamps that fit in little doors and windows in little houses, just like you see here. And this new one that we have has this gorgeous greenhouse. I love flowers. I love spring. I love summer. I've always wanted a greenhouse. We have no room to build one. So this is my greenhouse. So to show you who these little characters are and what's going on and how this works, especially for those of you that don't know what pocket pails are, To start off with, these are the new character sets that we have. This is called Live Garden. And we call it Live Garden because not only are the little people in here, well, alive, of course, they're people, but all of those little flowers, and they have little faces and stuff too because they are alive. And the back of all of our stamps, you're going to see, almost all of them, you're going to see a colored image on the back to show you what it looks like colored up and also give you some inspiration, as to how you can color them if you're looking for inspiration. Now, this set has 32 stamps in it. It does have coordinating sentiments already that are absolutely gorgeous. Look at those tiny little characters. They're so sweet. For those of you that are thinking, look at the size of those characters. It's no bigger than the tip of my finger. Are they difficult to color? It's actually quite the contrary. It makes them super easy to color. We draw these or illustrate these with very, very simple lines so that you don't have to do a ton of coloring and a ton of shadowing and shading. So it's really kind of a 1, 2, 3, you're done. There are coordinating dies that are sold separately, and you're going to be able to cut out everything except for your sentiments. And we always map out on the back of our coordinating dies which die goes with which stamp to make it really easy. So that is the Live Garden. That is the character set that is with our Pocket Pals in this round. And then we have the greenhouse. The greenhouse, as you can see, is a pretty big stamp. All right, it almost covers this A2 sized card. And it's absolutely stunning. You can stamp this, color it to, however you want to color it. We do have an image on the back that gives you an idea, a little inspiration. There's 2 sentiments that come with this as well. Once you get this colored, you can use the coordinating dies. There's 2 dies. The largest will cut out the entire perimeter of that greenhouse. So you can actually use that if you want to make a greenhouse shaped card too, which is a lot of fun. But the magic really happens with this die that's on the inside here. So this die here is the one that's going to make it so that those little doors open and close. There's a blade on only 3 sides, so it's only going to cut 3 sides. It's going to score on the 4th side. It's going to happen for both of the windows and for the door. And then it's going to make it easy for you to pop those little characters into their pockets. All right, that's why they're called Pocket Pals. This one we don't have opening, so it is optional if you don't want it to open. We chose to actually adhere that one down and put some little characters in front of it. But look how sweet this is. It's absolutely fun, interactive. And another thing to point out too, with the little Pocket Pals, because they're so small, look at how many of them we can put and create such a magical and really full and fun scene on there with a lot going on. So that is Pocket Pals, and the greenhouse and the Live Garden are the newest addition. Next up, check out these. Alan, I'm going to have you pull back to camera 2. These, I just love these. They're so, so gorgeous. This is one of those sets. Remember when I said, there's going to be a few things I'm going to point out that you're going to want to really pay attention to because you're going to see it all throughout the collection. These wildflowers, this is a 4x8 stamp. It is a slimline stamp. It's absolutely stunning. You're going to see these images throughout the collection in a few different places. Now, this is one where you can stamp it and then you can color it to your heart's content, however you want to do it. If you want to use watercolors, if you want to use markers, you can use it on, this is a slimline card here. Here's another slimline where we used a variety of colors. This one here is a little more monochromatic. Here we have a variety of colors. Look at this sample here. Isn't that amazing? This one we actually embossed it and then colored it up. Notice this one here has no line coloring, and we've switched it up. These are slimline, the stamp is slimline, but look at how you can use it on smaller cards as well. This is an A2 card. This is a little note card here. And if you notice, you have no line coloring on these, right? So I'm hiding back here. The coordinating stencils. These stencils are absolutely amazing. Alan, if you pull into camera 3, if you look on the back of our stencils, you will see that we always have them numbered, which one you're going to use first, second, third, and so on. So these happen to say 1A, 2A, 2B, and 2C. Now, I'm going to open this up because I want to show you the guidelines that we include on our stencils. It says right here, gray outlines. When you're looking at the picture here, the gray outlines indicate the etched areas on the stencil that you'll use for lining up your stencils. So if you look which one? I got them out of order because I didn't take them all out at the same time. But anyway, I have them out of order. First of all, if you look here, see how that says 2C in the corner there? We have them all numbered for you. And if you notice, this one has, let me move this over, this one has holes in it where you're going to be stenciling. But if I hold this on an angle, do you see those etched areas? Those etched areas are where you're going to be lining each stencil up with what you have just stenciled. So you start with 1A, which is this one right here. All right, so you start with 1A, and you're going to be stenciling all of those, you know, the little stems and things. And then when you get to 2A, you're going to line up those little etch marks with the stems, and you're going to stencil the next layer, and then go to 3, and then to 4. And by the time you're done, you're going to have an absolutely stunning no-line look like this. You can stencil it all by itself and achieve this look, or if you stencil over your stamped image, you will achieve an amazing look that looks just like these right here. Absolutely gorgeous. So both the stamp and the stencils can be used on their own. They can be used together as well. Couple more things I want to mention to you. This one is a slimline stamp, as I mentioned, but what's really, really cool is if you only want to stamp a portion of it, you can stamp that on a smaller, you know, a smaller like little note card like I showed you right here. This is also designed so that you can nest the left side into the right side. So it's a continuous stamping process with this stamp. So you can actually, if you're stamping on a large, you know, piece, maybe you're doing a mixed media piece, you can stamp it once, move it over, stamp it again, move it over, and stamp it again, because the left side is going to nest into the right side, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful and perfect each and every time. So lots of fun with this set. This is one of our most popular sets. This is the Wildflower Slimline Stamp and the stencils. Oops, I left a stencil out. Alrighty, so that is that one, and like I said, remember these images because you're going to see them again. Look how stunning that is. I'll tell you, our team is just amazing. So for those of you that have already seen our tags, if you're familiar with our stack tags, these are the newest tags that we have. They are for spring. You can see the little tags here. There's 4 of them here and then 2 of them here. You can use them on cards. You can use them on gifts. You can use them in scrapbook pages, however you want to use them. Do a little, you know, coupon booklet or something. These are the 2 products that will make up your tags. Now, this gift tag die, some of you may already have this. We released this last fall. This is a die that you only need to buy one time, and then we keep adding stamp sets to it. So the way that it works is this is one gift tag stack die. It's just one die, but it's going to cut 6 individual tags with one pass through your die cutting machine. The spring tag stack is the newest. We already have a Halloween, we have a Christmas, and we have one for fall. The newest one is the spring tag stack stamp. You get 1 large stamp, and then you get 5 sentiments that you can actually put and, you know, mix them up however you want to put them, or you can just write little notes on your tags as well, however you want to use it. The way it works though is you stamp this large stamp. This is a 4x4 stamp, and some of the images are right side up, some of them are upside down. It's also going to stamp those little corners right there, those little triangles in the corner. Those are your little guides, and you see we have the same coordinating little triangles right here on the die. So when you line up those triangles with what you just stamped, you're going to cut it one pass through your machine, and you're going to get 6 different spring and summer little tags just like these that I really think are perfect for year round. And on these 2 cards right here, we show you what they look like. You're going to already have the little holes in the top, so you can put a little string in them. And like I said, really a variety of uses. This is what we call a compendium assortment. So, you know, you would buy your gift tag die only one time and then just keep adding more and more stamp sets to it. I mean, this is really, it's one of those things where you go, wow, I really got my money's worth because I can use that die all throughout the year for all kinds of different occasions and holidays and so on and so forth by just collecting the different stamp sets. So really, really makes it go far. Lots of fun with that. And to that end, continuing with the stack idea, let me move these around here. You may be familiar with our sentiment stack dies. This is the original one that we released early on. It's, again, one die that will cut 11 different strips of sentiments. Then we came out, I believe in the fall, with the Sentiment Stack 2. The difference is this one has a ribbon cut edge, and this one has a blunt cut edge. But the layout is the same. So if the layout is the same, you can use both of these to cut out the same stamp sets, and you can just get 2 different looks with them. So that being said, the newest of our stacks is the Easter stack. It is 1 stamp. And with this 1 stamp, you're going to stamp 11 sentiments all at one time. You're going to stamp those little square corners, and then you're going to line up your die with those little corners right there. You're going to run it through your machine, and it's going to cut all of those little sentiments into 8 different strips that look just like this one with all the different sentiments. There'll be different lengths. As you can see, there's different lengths here. The sentiments are different lengths. And so for Easter, this one has things like, hope your Easter is extra special, Easter wishes, hippity hoppity, sending Easter smiles, every bunny loves Easter, bunny kisses and Easter wishes. It's just precious. It's adorable. And they're really kind of basics. So it's something you can use year after year after year. And it makes it really, really easy. And it just gives you sentiments at the ready whenever you need them. So lots of fun with that. And again, it's a compendium assortment. So if you already have your dies, you may already have some of the other sentiment sets. I think we have, maybe 7 or 8 different sentiment sets that go with these dies. So it's the same kind of thing. You buy your dies one time and you keep adding your stamps and you just grow that collection, and pretty soon you have stamps for absolutely every occasion. Alrighty, who is ready for a demo? Isn't this gorgeous? I just love these. Look how pretty these are. So for those of you that have not seen our pirouettes, this is what we're going to demo today, is the pirouette. A pirouette, just so you know, in case you're wondering where the name came from, I'm sure you're familiar with the word. It basically is a turn, right? I was in ballet classes growing up, and so, we would always, do pirouettes across the floor. And so when I developed this product, I thought, what can I call it? And I thought, well, it makes sense. I'm going to call it pirouette because you're actually making turns. You're making turns with your paper, and you're actually turning them around what is basically an 8-point star. And I'm going to show you how to use this. This is going to allow you, notice it says pirouette pattern templates. It's going to allow you to create different patterns. So I have 2 examples here. This one right here shows you a wreath pattern that goes in a circle. So that's a circular pattern. This one, if you look in the background here, at that paper back there, that is actually, let me get my arm out of the way here, but that is actually this pattern that I created right here. So you can create your own background papers, your own patterns. Everything is completely customizable. You choose the stamps, you choose the colors, you choose the placement of the stamps, where they go. So nobody is going to create the same patterns that you create. It's all going to be completely customizable. And it's all done with these 4 templates. So when you open up your templates, I'm going to open this one up so you can see. On the back, you can see the 4 templates. It says on the front here that you do get 4 templates. But I want to explain something because we do have a question. People do ask a question about it. First of all, in addition to the templates, you're going to get a full set of instructions. This opens all the way up to a full set of instructions, and it walks you through everything you need to know. But let me show you the templates that you're going to get. You're going to get 2 templates that you can see through. The first one here is the pirouette circle stamp alignment. I'm going to show you how that one works today. You're going to get the pirouette spiral stamp alignment. Once you see today's demo, you'll understand how to use this one as well. These 2 you can see through. Now the other 2 templates are front to back. So even though it's one piece, you still have 4 templates. You have the master template on the front and then the bonus background template on the back. All right. This is the one that you use to create background patterns just like this. Now for those of you that are familiar with LDRS Creative, you may already know that we have a YouTube channel where, we put out, my design team puts out videos every single week. I do a live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. And just last night, I did a full demo from beginning to end, showing you how to use this template here as well as the master template. So I'm going to show you a quick demo today, but if you want a more comprehensive demo, a fuller one, step by step, everything, I would say go out to our YouTube channel, as well as for any of our products. You're always going to see how to use our products, but if you go to our YouTube channel. So it's not a sales pitch. It's really just so that you get ideas. We try and inspire you and get you using the products and show you what you can do with them. So in addition to this template, I do want to show you a couple more things so you can see what I'm going to be working with. So I'm going to work with this template. The new items, Ellen, you're going to have to pull out to camera too. The new items to go with your templates. So if you already have your templates, this again is one of those compendium assortments where you have your templates one time, buy them one time, and then we keep adding stamp sets to it for all different occasions. And put this away because it's going to end up, it's going to end up all over the floor if I don't. But anyway, we keep adding stamp sets to it to just really build on your collection. So it really makes your, you spend once, you get to use in a million different ways. So here's the Finest Blooms. This is the latest addition to the Pirouette set. You can see I used this one. I oopsied and used my demo my demo set. But the Finest Blooms Pirouette, this is a 6x8 stamp set. So it's a really good size stamp set. And true to form, in all of our Pirouette sets, you're going to get two big, beautiful wreaths. You're going to get some little characters and critters in there. Sentiments that are perfect with whatever the theme is. This one is Finest Blooms, so it's for like spring and summer. You're also going to get a whole bunch of little leafy and flower stamps in here that are specially designed, shaped, and sized to work with your Pirouette templates. So true to form on the back, we show you what it looks like colored up. And then, of course, you do have the coordinating dies here where you're going. We have 20 dies. It's going to cut out like all the most, the pieces that you're more than likely going to be popping up and layering with. And we do have the map on the back that shows you which die goes with which stamp to make that easy. So that is for spring and summer. And then I really wanted to have something for Easter, so we did a smaller little add-on set. This is the Easter Pirouette. It has 30 stamps in it. Little chicks in here, sentiments in here, and we've also got little egg decorating in here because, who doesn't like to decorate eggs? I think I'm 54 years old. I still decorate eggs for Easter. So this is a way to do it with, there's two stamps for each egg. So you get your solid stamp in the back, which is your lighter color, and then the stamp that's directly next to it in the set. That's the one that gives you your pattern. You can do that in a coordinating color or in just a darker color, and we have several of those throughout here. And then again, on the back, it's all colored up for you. And then we have 16 dies that are mapped out on the back here to show you which die goes with which stamp. So I'm actually going to show you, how to use the templates with some of these stamps. We're going to kind of mix them up together. And then I'm going to show you what the finished card looks like. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be what I'm going to show you how to make right here. So, Alan, do you want to come in? Oopsie. Oops. It's okay, Alan. No, it's okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Kind of, I think. Yeah, sorry, something just fell. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Let me grab all of my stuff. I've got my set here that I work with. So it's not going to be as pretty as the brand new set that I just showed you. But in here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab two of my stencils. Like I said, mine are not going to be as pretty because I use them, and I use them a lot. So I'm going to grab two of my templates here. One of them is going to be the Pirouette Master, and then the other is going to be the Pirouette Circle Stamp Alignment. You will need some sort of a stamping platform with this because, and it also needs to hold this piece. This master template is 6 1/4 inches square. So you will need a stamping platform that will hold a template of this size, and you need to be able. It really needs to be some sort of a platform that allows you to stamp over and over again in the same position. So now the way that I'm going to show you to do this is really how you would mass produce. And again, to show you the step-by-step to make it one stamp at a time, I would say go to our YouTube channel. But we have a lot to cover, so I want to show you how to create this. I'm going to do all 3 stamps at the same time. But you would do this one stamp at a time. I just put a little bit of adhesive on the back. Oh, you know what? I need to actually explain this template before I go further, because it looks complex and it's really not. All it is an 8-point star. We just have it color coded for different sizes. So this size that I have here, I've cut it to 4 inches by 4 inches square. So if you look here, you can see on the yellow arrows, it has a 4. So all these yellow arrows all around, there's 8 of them around that 8-point star. Those are the ones that I want to follow. The smallest is 2.5 inches. Those are in brown. Purple is a 3 inch, 3.5 inches is green, and then 4 1/4 is the red. So I have cut mine to 4 inches. So I'm going to put all 4 corners in those little yellow arrows or corners that I put there. And I do have just a tiny little bit of adhesive on the back of this. So now, like I said, you would start this off one stamp at a time, and you would make your 8 turns. Once you do that, you're going to end up with this. And then you can mass produce it. So I'm going to show you the fast way, which is mass producing it. So let me see. I'm going to go ahead and grab my stamps out of here. So I need 3 stamps and 3 colors. So this is from the Easter set. Now, I also want to use, this is my my pirouette circle stamp alignment. Notice it has that red arrow on either side there, right? Those red arrows line up with the red arrows on the master. So when I line those up, that lays over it just like that. Now I know exactly where my center is. And this way I can also make sure that I stay within the boundaries of my paper that I've cut. And notice this second little dashed line here, all of my stamps fit right inside of that. I was very careful when placing them so that they would stay inside that little dashed line. That helps give me a really great kind of cohesive look to my pattern, so that I don't end up with stamps poking out everywhere, and you know, it just kind of gives a really nice nice look to it. So I'm going to place right over what I've already stamped here, just to line up my 3 stamps. My other 2 stamps I grabbed from my Finest Blooms. So this one was from the Easter. Now these are from the Finest Blooms. I'm going to grab, what is it? I need this leaf up here. And I'm going to lay these kind of in a triangle pattern for our purposes here, because I'm going to use 3 different colors with it. So then I also need, I think it's this one right here. And just lay it right over there. All right, so next up, I need 3 colors. So I have 3 stamps. I need 3 colors of ink. And I'm going to do this with, I've got 3 colors. This is a beautiful kind of purpley pink. It's called Fandango. And then this is a lime green. We call it Prickly Pear Perfection. And then this one is Tangerine Dream. So it's a really pretty orange. So I've got 3 colors. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my 3 stamps with my stamp positioner. All right. I no longer need to have this alignment tool in there because I've already lined up my stamps. Now I'm going to start with a fresh piece of paper. So I've got one here that I've already cut to 4 inches square. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, remove some of the tackiness, and line this up. Now wait until you see how fast and how cool this is, because it really is cool. So I'm going to start with all 3 of my colors here, and let me get them all ready to go. All right, so which is which? My pink is going to go here, that's where my flowers are, then orange, and then green. So I'm going to get this inked up. Pink, here's the green, and then here's the orange. And look at what I got here. Got my Stampendable. That's going to help me transfer even pressure. Look how beautiful. I don't think I inked that up very well over there. I make one rotation, so I was here. My next rotation is going to be that yellow arrow and that one, and you're going to see this actually right up into here and to here. There you go. Let me get these inked up. Next color, get that green really well because I think I missed some of it the first time, and then orange. Use my Stampendable just to press that on there. Saves all the muscles in my hands. I'm going to make another rotation. So you make 8 rotations in total. You really don't have to think about it. It's very easy. You're going to notice I kind of talk through the whole thing because I don't have to think about it. And what's another thing that's really, really cool about it is that it's so easy. It produces instant, gorgeous results. But it's so easy that, I mean, you could even have your kids do this. If you want to sit down, if you have children, small children or grandchildren, this is something that they can do with you. They can design, they can play. They're going to have instant, gorgeous results that are just going to be so pleasing. I mean, there's really no better way to introduce, kids to crafting than to give them something that makes them feel successful right away. And I think this is one of those things that helps them to feel successful right away because it's easy and fun and gorgeous. So I think I missed a little bit of my inking there. I got it a little bit. There we go. Look how fast this comes together. You just make 8 turns, go around the circle. It just builds itself. It is super fun, super beautiful. And by changing up anything here, it changes the look of it. So it's completely customizable. I'm using 3 stamps here, but if you want to use more, you can use 4 stamps, 5 stamps, 2 stamps, however it is you want to do it. Look how beautiful that is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it looks identical to the first one that I did. Isn't that amazing? And so let me get these wiped up and move this stuff over so that I don't make a big mess. But look at how gorgeous that is. It really is kind of easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. Absolutely fantastic for producing one or mass producing. I mean, how long did it take me? Maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes? And then this is the card that I finished with it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So the wreath that you see in the background there, I've actually taken it and I used from the Finest Blooms. I have it backwards. There we go. From the Finest Blooms, I stamped this large wreath in the same kind of lime green, right? And it's called Prickly Pear Perfection. And then I die cut it with the coordinating dies. I use this sentiment up here, wishing you happiness, right here. This little bunny right here, and then the carrot, which is here. Stamp those, give them a really quick and easy color. And then I used this little chick and one of the strawberries. You also see a little fence in the background there. That little fence is this picket fence pocket size. This is the small size. This is the larger size. These to me are like staples in my craft stash. I love little background scenic things. These are the newest edition that we have, so you can have this teeny tiny adorable little fence, or you can use the larger fence depending on the look that you want. But that's what I have in the background there. It adds beautiful texture. It's just super, super cute, lots of fun. And all I did then was layer it up with a little bit of foam, a little bit of cardstock in the back there, just to kind of, set off that beautiful, the beautiful pink in there. And you're done, 1, 2, 3. And the great thing is you can use these together. You can use just the, let me see, is this one? This one actually uses just the Easter pirouette. Here's another one where we use just the Easter pirouette. We do have that larger picket fence in the background there. This one is using only the Finest Blooms. Here's a card where we're not even using the pirouette with it. We just have that little fence. We have the Finest Blooms as well as some of the Easter pirouette stamps and little characters in there. And we're not even using the pirouette. So this is a perfect way to show you that you can use it with or without your pirouette templates. It's incredibly versatile. Look how cute these are. I mean, the combinations are just endless, and they're so much fun, and they're so, so beautiful. I think this is one of those things that just really packs a punch. They're just so cute. So hopefully you enjoy these. And remember, you know, take a look at our YouTube channel if you want a more in-depth look at this card as well as other cards. We have a lot of tutorials that our team puts up there to show you how you can use your products that you get from LDRS. So next up, let me show you, oh my goodness. All right, next up, can you say cover plate die? Who loves cover plate dies? Me, me, me. I do. Absolutely love them. Check this out. The cover plate die, if you're not familiar with what a cover plate die is, cover plate die is a die that is the same size as your card. In this case, we have A2 cover plates. An A2 card, if you're not familiar with it, is 4.25 by 5.5 inches. And the cover plate will cut out, it'll cut out whatever your die cut is that is going to be the size to cover the entire front of your card. So it covers it, right? That's where the term comes from. So this one, look at that beautiful texture in the background. And then look at this one with the little flowers. So, so pretty. We introduced in the fall our very, very first cover plate trio, and it was called Modern Geometric. And it was so incredibly popular. We had so many people saying, are you going to do more of those? And so we thought, you know what? Yeah, let's do more. And so we've come out with a new trio. And it is perfect for spring, for summer, and really all year round. Ellen, actually, I think maybe we should, we need to go back to camera 2. There we go. I think that's going to show it a little bit better. So we have 3 of them. They're called Pretty Things. So it's Pretty Things Cover Plate 1, Cover Plate 2, and Cover Plate 3. These are very carefully designed so that you can use each of them on its own, like you see here. This is Cover Plate 1. Look how beautiful that is. This one is Cover Plate 2. All right, beautiful flowers. I can't find my sample for Cover Plate 3, but it actually looks like this. This is the pattern, and it has some stitching in there that doesn't show up on camera very well, but not only can you use them by themselves, but you can also layer them up. So here is a card. Actually, will you come into camera 3, Alan? This card, we've actually layered up all 3 of those. Isn't that stunning? White on white in this example. The texture is amazing. The depth is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to show you how these work. So let me move this over. And I'm going to show you, we're going to stay on this camera. These are your 3. This is what the die cuts look like, all right? So this is Pretty Things Cover Plate 1, 2, and 3. Now here's what happens. I did these. This is not the best color combination. This is really just for demonstration. What if I layer 1 over 2? Look how pretty that is. You can still see some of 2 through it. Completely different look. What if I layer 2 over 1? Look how beautiful that is. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me put that on my hand so you can see that pink better. Isn't that amazing? What if I bring in 3 now? Now we're going 2, 1, 3. Look how gorgeous. What if I put, let's put 2 in the background. We'll go 1, 3, 2. Are you getting the gist of this now? You can layer these up in any order you want, and you're going to be seeing different parts of the different die cuts every time you change the order of them. What if I want to have only 1 and 3 together? This is what it looks like. So any combination you want between 1, 2, and 3. So you really have, I think, 27 different ways or combinations of layering these, either by themselves or mixing and matching them. And the looks that you get are absolutely, absolutely amazing. They're just gorgeous. So you have Cover Plate 1, Pretty Things Cover Plate 1, Pretty Things Cover Plate 2, and Pretty Things Cover Plate 3. So, so fun. And these, we've also designed these so that they're not incredibly trendy. So these are things that, again, you can have in your craft collection, and you're going to be able to use these year after year. You can use these on just about any occasion, any theme. They're going to be stunning. Look at that one. Isn't that so pretty? I love these. These are some of my favorite things. That's what I should have called them. Instead of pretty things, I should have called it favorite things. Because they are. I love them. Alrighty. So let me reorganize here to show you the next amazing stuffs. So you've already seen these. I just showed you these. But look at that flower. Isn't that flower gorgeous? How about that one? How about that one? They're so pretty. So pretty. I love peonies. Peonies are, it's one of my favorite flowers. I love that they come up in spring and they're just gorgeous and big. I have a lot of them. And so peonies were really kind of the perfect choice when it came to adding another large layering die set. Now, let me pull back to camera 2. So we introduced our layering dies, I think, over last summer. And they've just been they're just amazing. You can use them in so many different ways. You get all these beautiful layers, and we have a lot of texture in here as well, with a lot of scoring or deboss lines that go in there. We're going to come back, actually, let's come back to camera 3. On the back, we show you, these are what all of the dies are going to cut. So we show you kind of color-coded a little bit so you can see all the different pieces that you get. And then using that color coding, you can see here how you're going to layer it up. So this is kind of your map of how you can layer it up. They're absolutely wonderful. When you look at this, you can see you can use them in many different ways and many different colors. So pretty. This one we actually have one flower and we have the beautiful leaves twice. And then you can see here too, sneak peek coming attraction. Look at the foil, gorgeous. And then here, of course, are two different, we got a pink and a red. All kinds of combinations, all kinds of things that you can do with these. And they're just stunning. And peonies, again, this is not something that's trendy. Peonies, I mean, they've been around for, I don't know, hundreds of years probably. So if you love gardens and you love peonies, this is the set for you. Next up, let's go out to camera 2. Thank you. Next up, I found a little hole in our product lineup. I was crafting and I thought, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I found myself reaching for, you know, for other stamp sets that we had done that maybe had a larger font or, you know, something very specific, thicker font. And so I thought, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have it all in one place? One place, isn't that ideal? Not 5 different sentiments to cover all the everyday sayings, or, you know, a whole holiday set or a whole birthday set. Let's just put them all in 2 sets, and we'll call one of them everyday and one of them special occasions. So you got everything you need in just one place. So in this set, this is a 4x8 stamp set. You get a beautiful, large, bold font. Everyday Sayings has 10 stamps. Things like congrats and best wishes, thanks for all you do, life is better with you, with heartfelt sympathy, for you with love, thinking of you, sending big hugs. We cover just about every thing that you could really think of that you would want to say just every day to the people in your life. We have coordinating dies. Notice there's 10 sentiments but 20 dies. That's because every single one of these sentiments has 2 dies. So it's going to have a die that is going to contour cut. Let me see if I have a really great example right here. I don't know if you can see it on this one. I have a better example someplace. I just can't find it. Let's come into camera 3. Okay, there we go. See how it has contour cut around the sentiment. And then we have another layer back there. That is the shadow layer. So every single one of these sentiments is going to have a die that's going to contour cut. And then the next one is going to provide that really pretty shadow layer in the background. So 10 stamps, but 20 dies. So that is Everyday Sayings. Let's go back out, Alan, please. Now you're going to also get that with the special occasions. And special occasions is going to cover all of those special occasions throughout the year. You're going to have holiday wishes. Happy New Year. Happy birthday to you. Welcome little one for a little newborn. Be mine Valentine. Happily ever after. Easter wishes. Happy anniversary. And then for Mother's Day and Father's Day, so glad you're my mom. Best dad ever. They're just wonderful. And again, 10 stamps and you get 20 dies. So you have that contour die, plus you're going to get that shadow die on the back, and we show you what they look like on the back, all colored up. So these are absolutely wonderful. We took it one step further because, again, as I was using them, I thought, boy, wouldn't it be fun? Because I fell in love with foiling, and so we put out some foil sets that, or I'm sorry, some toner papers that you can use with toner reactive foil. And so as we were doing that, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I actually had these sentiments in toner so that I could foil them? And so we added them. Why not? So we have everyday sayings and we have special occasions. And the great thing is they are the exact same sentiments and the exact same size as your stamps. So what does that mean? That means I can now use both of these with the same set of dies. So I only have to buy the dies once, and now I can use them with two different things in two different ways, with the stamps, and if I have toner reactive foil, I can foil them. Same thing goes with the special occasions. All right, so absolutely wonderful, very versatile, and long lasting. So I mentioned that we had the foil papers, and just to kind of quickly show you what we've got here, if you look at these, here's some card samples. Really, really fun. Really, really gorgeous, just beautiful. Again, toner reactive foils and, a foiling machine. And here's some examples of some of them that we have. So we have florals and we have geometrics and we have 4x9 and 6x6. So I will show you each of those real quick. So these are the geometric toppers right here. So like I said, we have geometric toppers in 4x9 and in 6x6. You get 12 sheets, so there's 6 patterns, and you get 2 of each pattern in the geometric. You get 2 of each pattern in these gorgeous kind of modern and large florals. So you get 12 sheets in there as well. And then so that you can use that negative, this is your positive when you foil. You foil that image, and then on your foil sheet, with whatever is left over is the negative. You can actually apply that to a blank or solid toner sheet, and then you kind of get a twofer. So you get the positive and then the negative. So that is our foils. So those are really fun because I love foiling. I'm new to foiling, so I've just like fallen in love with it. So next up, check these out. Oh my gosh. Slimlines, you've seen a lot of slimline cards, that we've been showing you throughout this collection. And we've done them all with this new floral scallop slimline die set. So if you're familiar with our slimlines, you know that I love to give you in our die sets a whole bunch of dies that allow you to not just create, like a card topper, and we don't repeat the same shape over and over and over again. What we do is we give you everything that you really need to make a card and to decorate it. So you're going to get, speaking of make a card, you're going to get this outer die. Alan, you want to come into camera too? You're going to get this outer die first of all. This is something new that we introduced, I think, in the fall. Notice this side is flat. So you have your cutting blade on 3 sides. We have this really beautiful basic stitching, really traditional. But this side is flat. That side is flat because that is what you're going to use to create a card base. So if you had, for example, we're just going to give this as an example. Let's say you took your piece of cardstock and you just scored it and folded it, but you haven't cut it out to whatever size you need it. So you lay that down, and then where your fold is up at the top there, that's where you lay this flat side. That goes on the fold. And then when you run that through your die cutting machine, it's going to cut the perfect sized slimline card base. This one is going to give you that beautiful stitching that you see there. Isn't that pretty? Because it only cuts on 3 sides. So there's no more measuring. No more, fussing and saying, oh, am I cutting this the right size? Oops, I made a mistake. I just wasted a lot of paper and all that stuff. The die cuts your card base. All right, makes it really, really easy. Next up, you get the next 2 dies. You get this beautiful scallop die, and then you have another layered die in the center there. On this card, it really shows off that beautiful scallop, and then the next layer that allows you to kind of pop up on foam, or you could cut a window in that scallop piece. And then we give you all these beautiful florals and some leaves and stuff. So on this one, we have the florals on the front. We also show you a card on the back here where you can actually layer them and get a lot of dimension with those little floral pieces. So, so pretty. An extremely versatile set. Love it. Because you can actually use those florals on other size cards too. It doesn't have to be just with your slim lines. You can use them kind of across the board. You know, here we're showing them with some sneak peek coming attractions, ephemera, and some cardstock that you haven't seen yet. But you're gonna. Oh, and enamel dots. Ooh! Sneak peek coming attractions. Next up, check these out. Now, what do I want you to see here? All right. What do I want you to see here? What do these have in common? They have these beautiful die cuts, these white die cuts in common. This white that you see on black, that's actually white die cuts, and we've just put it on black cardstock, and it looks like it's patterned paper, and it's stunning. This one, we've used those white die cuts in the back of some of the ephemera on top of some gorgeous, gorgeous paper that you have yet to see. And it just creates a gorgeous layer of texture and color, and it draws your eye right into that gorgeous image. Alan, you want to come back out to camera too? You're going to do that with these two dies right here. Peony, all right? I mentioned peonies. We've got peonies. That's one of the themes throughout here. So we have this beautiful peony. Look at the size of that die next to my hand. Isn't that gorgeous? It's huge. So you have this large die here, plus this smaller one here. This is what they look like right here when they're die cut. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see right through them. We actually just had something on our inspiration blog where somebody actually used this and turned it into a beautiful stained glass look on a card. It was stunning. And then we have the lovely wildflower cluster. Remember the wildflower stamps? We've got some of that imagery in this die. So look at the size of that. That's a big, big die. And you get two dies in here. This is what they look like when they're die cut. So on these two cards here, we've got, like I said, lovely peony and lovely wildflower cluster. I'm going to be showing you these on some scrapbook pages shortly too, so keep these in mind, because these, I think, again, milk, bread, butter, you know, these are just staples to have in not your pantry, not your refrigerator, but in your craft stash. I love these. I'll be using these year after year after year. But that's what you're seeing here. And we've actually mixed the peony on this one with the wildflower and created this gorgeous, gorgeous background. So they're just very, very versatile. I love these. Next up, no, I don't sing, as you can tell. Alrighty, next up, this is really fun because actually we're going to come in. Do you want to come in a little bit closer, Alan? Let's see if it's going to be too close. Look at how beautiful that is. Everything that's used on this. This card here, I actually did this on one of our lives last week. So if you want to see me make this card, this was on our YouTube channel. It's a live YouTube, so it's on our LDRS Creative YouTube channel. I walk you through this. We have in the background is one of our gorgeous geometric toner sheets. We had that beautiful peony die right here and up here. We have those amazing sentiments there. And then this is also made on that beautiful slimline die that I just showed you. That is called, I can't remember the name of it right now, Floral Scallop Slimline. But I did a coordinating envelope with it. Check this out. Isn't that gorgeous? Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that amazing? So much fun. I've actually promised this card to somebody, but I couldn't send it yet because I wanted to make sure I had it to show you guys today. Isn't that beautiful? This is done with one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, and it's done. You're going to have to come back to camera too. It's done with this die set right here. This is, I've been told, I mean, I think it is. I mean, I agree, but I've been told by several people who have used this and bought it that this is the best slimline envelope die set that they've seen, and I agree. There's only 5 dies in this set, so you have this largest die right here, which if I lay my envelope over the top, you can see it cuts the base, so it cuts that back. This long, narrow die here is what cuts these longer flaps here. There's one here and one here, 2 of them, right? And then the smaller flap on the side here is this die right here. Those are the only 3 things you need to actually make an envelope. These other 2 are just for decoration purposes. If I want to add some stitching or scallop, I can use those. And on the back of this, ignore the warning, that's just because it's a plastic bag, but on the back of this, we actually tell you how many of each of those you need to cut. All right, so the large die, the long narrow die, you need 2, and then the smaller one, you need 2. And now we show you, you can make 2 different styles. The style I just showed you is that side, the long side where it opens there, but you can also choose to make it where the smaller flap opens, right? It's completely up to you, however you want to do it. You can use solid cardstock, you can use white cardstock, or with just 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper, this is what you get. Absolutely stunning. And we show you how to lay it out here. It's literally ABC 1, 2, 3, adhere, 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 you're done. Doesn't take long at all. I will tell you this as well. If I lay this on here, you can see how much larger it is. Now, our slim lines measure with that background, that with the card base on there, it ends up measuring 3.5 by 8.5. So you can see how big this is. The actual measurement is 4.2 inches by 9.2 inches. You can see how much, how much size you have in that. That's going to allow you to, have a lot of dimension on your card and still fit it in there. It's also going to allow you to, to work with a slimline die that maybe is a little bit larger from another company. Look how perfect that fits in there. Is that gorgeous? Love it. So this, I think, is the way to go when it comes to slimline envelopes. So if you like this paper, I'm going to be showing you some new paper collections right now. So we're almost done. The first one that I'm going to show you, let me get a couple of samples over here. The first one, look at this adorable, adorable card. This card is done with only ephemera and that little pocket fence that I showed you, the little picket fence pocket die. This is a little mini album that I literally threw together in an hour, and I used nothing but the paper pack, the enamel dots, and the ephemera that are part of the collection. Oh, and the little puffy stickers. So sneak peek coming attractions. I literally put this together in an hour, and my husband was like, really, you did that in an hour? And it's so cute. You just had to add little pictures, add some little notes in there, and you're good to go. And then I really wanted a planner. Notice this planner. This is done with 6 by 6 paper. So, oh, and I have ephemera here. Didn't even have to cut the paper. You're seeing right here some of the wildflower cluster dies right here. I layered them up in a couple of colors, added a beautiful peony. And look what we have. It's absolutely stunning. So now you're getting a very quick sneak peek through some of the paper patterns. So lots of fun. Let me show you what the papers look like, because you're probably dying to see that. I would be. So first off, we have these papers in 6 by 6 and 4 by 9 to begin with. All right, so this is what we call One Fine Day. I'm going to show you the 6 by 6 and the 4 by 9 together because they have the same configuration. All right, so I'm going to show you the 6 by 6, and what you see in the 6 by 6, you're going to get the same in the 4 by 9. All right, the 4 by 9 being the slimline size. So in this, you're going to get 24 sheets all together. 16 will be double side printed, and then 8 of them are going to be pre-foiled. Gorgeous, gorgeous soft gold foil. And these are, listen, these are 80-pound card. They are absolutely wonderful. They are also a complete 100% matte finish. Has that beautiful kind of Scandinavian look and feel to them. They're so beautiful. No sheen, no shine, absolute total matte. And look at how stunning. These are those amazing wildflowers that we saw in the stamp, right? We saw those in the stamp. We saw those in the dies. Look at the back. They're so beautiful. Looks like it's raining. Look at how gorgeous. A lot of these images you see in the Finest Blooms. All right, the Finest Blooms stamp set. Look at that. That looks like a circus font. I just think they're so pretty. The colors are absolutely gorgeous. Little bunnies and flowers, again, that you see in the Finest Blooms. And look at that, our beautiful wildflower in the back of that. These are little strawberries and flowers that you see in the Easter Pirouette stamp. So everything goes together. Look at the rainbow with that gorgeous diagonal stitch. This is almost a denim color. So, so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you're going to get 8 foiled with sheets with a beautiful soft gold foil. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, like I said, everything that you see in the 6x6, you're going to also see in the 4x9. Some of these patterns will be vertical, some of them will be horizontal, so that they can be used in, you know, different, however you want to kind of configure your project. So that is the 4x9, the 6x6, and the One Fine Day. We also have in the One Fine Day, you're going to have to come back out, we also have 12x12. So in the 12x12, it's a slightly different configuration. Here you're going to get 12 sheets double-sided. So we have selected some of the amazing patterns here. You're going to get 2 of each sheet so that you can do a beautiful scrapbook layout. Look at how gorgeous these are. Same patterns, different scale. Wonderful for scrapbooking. Wonderful for larger paper crafting. Look at those bunnies. Oh my, look at that. I think this is one of my favorites. It's just a beautiful kind of watercolor rainbow plaid. So stunning. Stunning. All right, look at the rainbow dots there. I just love them. I think they're so beautiful. To top it off with this collection, you're also going to get, we have added large alpha puffy stickers in a beautiful coordinating aqua color. You're going to get 2 sheets in here to take you through the full alphabet. We also have numbers in there as well. You're also going to have available these small alpha puffy stickers. These are multicolored. You get 1 sheet of those. This is that ephemera pack that I used all over the place in this little mini album, and I used it to make this card. In this card, this is actually a postcard that, if you zoom into here, Alan, see that postcard? That's actually a large postcard that spans the whole back here. There's 2 large postcards actually, because this is another one I'll show you on a scrapbook page. But that's what we used in the background of this card. And then all those little ephemera pieces. Literally, this card takes you about a minute to make. Minute and a half, maybe 2 at most. But lots of fun. You get 55 pieces of ephemera in here. They're absolutely amazing to play with. And then another little add-on is the enamel dots that are perfectly color coordinated. This is a scrapbook page that I wanted to show you on one of my favorite papers from this collection. Here you can see the size of that postcard. We've got some of the ephemera in there, the enamel dots. It is just so much fun. It's just so easy to do and just gorgeous. So love, love, love this entire One Fine Day collection. So next up, we do have one more paper collection, and it is called Lovely Watercolor. So look at these. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Here's another card done with the Lovely Watercolor. And notice here you're seeing some of that. Those are the little clusters. That's the wildflower cluster back there. This card is done with all ephemera. This is all ephemera. We've got the paper in the background. So let me show you what this paper collection looks like. So we do have the three different sizes in this paper collection as well. So we have we've got the 6x6 as well as the 4x9. These are going to be configured the same. So I'm going to take you through the 6x6 real quick. You will get 2 sheets of each. These are going to be configured differently than the One Fine Day. So on the front, you will get 2 sheets of each. I'm only going to show you 1 of each, but you do get 2. So on the front, you're going to get the large pattern. On the back, you get the smaller pattern. This is called Lovely Watercolor because look at those gorgeous, lovely watercolor flowers. It's not watercolor paper, they're watercolor designs. Isn't that gorgeous? Look how beautiful that is. Now on the back of some of these, you're going to have the smaller image. Look how beautiful. So this one you have like your blues and purples. Here you've got beautiful pinks and corals and purples. Look how stunning that is. Lovely. They're just gorgeous. I love these. I love having the different sizes as well. It allows me to make, you know, like some more like larger cards, or I could do little tags with some of the really small little patterns. Look how beautiful they are. This is that peony. Remember that peony that I told you you're going to see throughout? Absolutely stunning. Now, in here, you're also going to get 3 sheets. Front to back, you have ready-made, ready-to-go little paint splatters. And you might be thinking, why would I want to have paint splatters? Where did my card go? Oh, it's right here. Why would I want to have paint splatters? Well, you know, you can do your own paint splatters, right? I can do my own paint splatters if I'm going to dig all my paints out and I want to make that mess and I want to clean it up. But what if I'm making a card really, really fast? Or what if I don't have all those things? Or I don't want to get all those things out? We thought it'd be really, really fun to just give you paint splatters. And so this card right here was actually that paint splatter. All right, bet you thought that I made that, but nope. It was actually ready-made on your paper, ready to go for you. We popped in some tags, one of the stacked sentiments, backed it with one of the coordinating papers, and you have an absolutely stunning, stunning card. Now, we do have, and I'm almost done, I promise you, we do have this in 12 by 12 as well. And the 12 by 12, you're going to have to come out to the other camera, Alan. So this is in 12 by 12 as well. You're going to get 12 sheets, double-sided, with this amazing, lovely watercolor. This is also, by the way, I forgot to mention it, with the 6 by 6 and the 4 by 9, full matte finish, 80-pound cardstock. Absolutely amazing. And here you're going to get 2 of each sheet in here as well. And you're going to have a coordinating pattern on the back, or you might have one of those paint splatters like you see right here. Look at how amazing. Beautiful, gorgeous, zoomed in florals. They're just so pretty. Oh my gosh. Absolutely stunning. Another one of the paint splatters. And this one we actually have beautiful brush strokes. It just brings the eye right into the center for your scrapbook layout. You're going to have in this collection available to you the large Alpha Puppy stickers in a beautiful soft pink that coordinates perfectly. You get 2 sheets. We have the small Alpha Puppy stickers in the multicolor, perfectly coordinated again. 41 pieces of ephemera, and if you remember, we used ephemera right here on this card. We also used ephemera on this card. So it's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous ephemera. All of it, everything is ephemera on here. Look at that. I will also tell you this, by the way. This card really demonstrates it. This ephemera is from the Lovely Watercolor, but this paper right here is from One Fine Day. Both the Lovely Watercolor and the One Fine Day actually share some colors in common. So what that means is that you're going to be able to use things like, you know, crossing in between some of your ephemera with some of your paper, mixing and matching, like maybe using the Lovely Watercolor alphas or the enamel dots with the One Fine Day, some of the One Fine Day with the Lovely Watercolor. So it really magnifies what you can do and all the combinations that you can create if you have both of these in your collection. Just saying, we've designed them very carefully so that they share colors. So here are some examples right here. I think I have too many things stacked up here. Look at how beautiful that is. That is using one of those paint splatters in the background, brings the eye right into the center. We have those beautiful cluster dies on the side there. Everything is decorated with ephemera. Really gorgeous, really easy to do. Look how beautiful that is. And then, if you remember this card, this envelope that I did, whoops, I'm taking it out sideways and I got it stuck. There we go. This envelope that I made was using the Lovely Watercolor paper. Isn't that amazing? So you got a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern on the inside as well as outside. And then all of this ephemera that you see here, remember I said you can mix and match? All of that ephemera you see there is actually from One Fine Day. The paper is Lovely Watercolor. The ephemera is One Fine Day. And the card is, well, all kinds of other things that I've already told you about. So that is everything in a nutshell. That is everything. Wow! I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you got your questions answered. I'm sorry, I completely forgot to even look up because there's so much stuff I wanted to cover and really kind of share everything with you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this collection. And I hope you can really see, all of the thought and the hard work that we put into it to make these products something that is going to be something that you're going to be able to use for many, many years to come. We don't have a whole lot of things in here that are really, like necessarily just on trend for use this point in time. I think a lot of the things in this whole collection are things that are going to be staple items that you're going to be grabbing for, many years to come when you're crafting. And anyway, thank you guys so much. Don't forget that there is a 10% off discount right now on all of these products in the Scrapbook Central store. And let me see. And if you do want to order, like I said, there's Natalie's going to be putting an order in after the weekend, so you have all weekend to order. And we're going to get everything shipped out and in your little hands as quickly as possible. So don't hesitate to, if you see something that is not already in stock, know that we are going to get it to you very quickly. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Natalie, for having me here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had an absolute blast, and I just love sharing everything with you. Until next time, I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend and a wonderful evening. Bye for now, everybody.